understand when people say that people are getting kicked out and they've been around here for a while. I don't know how you, honestly speaking, how you change that, and to keep the people there, but you upgrade the neighborhood. I just don't know. I'm not like a political scientist with that. So, but I think overall, if you take care of your neighborhood, it's hard to gentrify your neighborhood. Like, we can't. It's going to be hard to gentrify the crepe spot in Mount Airy because there's nothing really you can go take advantage of around there because they kind of take care of the neighborhood.
Right.
So when the neighborhood is not taken care of like that, when there's a lot of crime, it's the same old game, and people don't get it. When they let the crime go and they let the people stand on the corner, you lower the property value, you build those corner stores with the bulletproof windows, you put the little corner store churches out there, the little dollar store check cash in place, graffiti everywhere, trash. They let that happen. And people in the neighborhood brag about that. And they come swoop right in, like, okay, boom, I'm going to get this for $1. And flip it. It's like Nike. Nike can sell a sneak for $130,000 or $140 and make it for like $2. It's the same thing they doing in the houses, but I mean, if you in the game, we in the game, really, a game of life in America. We playing it, regardless if you want to play it or not. But some people just playing to lose. And if you can't get mad at the people that's playing the game also, and they playing to win. So if you playing to lose, you got to come aside that's playing to win. You got to understand what they doing. I'm not even saying they, because when you know people that's doing that, it's not just white people. It's black people, it's women, it's men, and it's white people. It's like everybody doing it and on it. So
yeah,
I understand negatives, but I think it's like more positives to it.
I think to bounce off you a little bit. When I was working and basically social work, and I was in the communities, I was in Kensington. I was in places that North Philly that will become gentrified and are in the process of being gentrified now. A lot of it's a lack of knowledge too, because a lot of the homeowners, I would let some of them know that y'all in prime real estate. You 20th and Christian, 3rd and Girard. Like, keep your house. To the owners, like, keep your house. You know what I mean? A lot of them are just not educated on just property in real estate, and they're willing to take $350,000, for their home, and who knows where they're going after that. You know what I mean? When they were sitting on the loan line, you know what I mean? But I don't want this to happen, though. I don't want to go to every city in the United States and it looks like everything is cookie cutter, right?
It's a shopping mall,
right? It's a Starbucks on every little corner, right. And the mom and pop stores are gone. Like, I still want the city to feel real. So that's my ultimate fear with gentrification.
I think for me, I'm living the gentrification process now.
Well, to be clear, where we recording from is gentrified.
It's exactly. So I mean, I think you gotta look at it like this. I would argue the opposite of, Brandon, you telling the person to keep your house. The issue with gentrification is if these homeowners took care of their houses, their property, their land, this wouldn't be happening. It's plain and simple. I see it now. Like, people on my street, people look at my wife and I like we're crazy because we're sweeping outside, we're painting the house, we're cutting the lawn, we're cleaning the windows, we're doing stuff like that. They look at us like I'm crazy. But my thing is, I'm trying to, add value to the neighborhood. And if you're not taking care of your property, your house looks like garbage, you have trash around your house. How does that, think about, like, Germantown. It's a very historic neighborhood, man.
Absolutely, man.
The Battle of Germantown,
one of the oldest.
It's one of the oldest in the whole country. So why do these, because we're focusing on the black families here. Like, why do these black families feel as though that they can just, let their houses rot, and then you get upset when somebody wants to come in, buy your house, fix it up, and sell it, and add value to the neighborhood? But while you're there, you're saying, like, no, I don't want to leave. Then, give people the perception that you don't want to leave, that you'll take care of your house.
Right.
You'll pay your taxes. You don't want to be tax delinquent. You'll pay your mortgage. Like, all that. Gentrification, You know, it's much needed in certain cities like New York. They're way ahead of it.
Oh, yeah.
You know, like Brooklyn right now, you can't find a brownstone under $3 million. You know,
I don't think that's always a good thing though. Like how it is.
I mean, that's bad over there
yeah,
because you know, like,
I don't want that.
Like 5-10 years ago, you could have found a brownstone for like $400,000 or $500,000, but now you can't find nothing under like $3 million.
Yeah,
that's when it's going too far.
Yeah,
but New York has very valuable land.
That's true.
Very valuable.
It's very different from the rest of the nation.
It's very different. Like, and I think like, you know, like you know, down DC it's happening. You know, and I think Philly needed to go through that because the areas of the city were looking like garbage. And then the only good areas, you had parts of South Philly and what's that, West Oak Lane? I mean, West Monterey?
West Monterey, East Monterey.
You know, and Chestnut Hill. Like, those were pretty much the solid areas of the city that, you know, had value. Mm-hmm. Now, West Monterey, you know, West Monterey, East Monterey is on the come up. You got Fairmount that's on the come up.
North Broad.
You got North Broad that's on the come up. You got Kensington that's on the come up. You
New
got
Kensington.
New Kensington, and you got Lower Southwest.
I didn't even hear that.
Yeah.
I didn't
Lower
hear that.
Southwest. They're turning around Southwest now, dude.
You got to brand it.
Yeah,
you got to brand it.
You got to
rebrand
rebrand
like
it.
something else.
You got to rebrand it.
New Passyunk.
New Passyunk, so all that's changing. Like, I love to see it because, you know, you can't change the center city area and don't change the outside. You know, It doesn't make sense. Like, you can't have, you know,
tell that to Rendell.
Exactly. You know, it's like, you know, it took Mayor Nutter to come in and make these processes and changes, and people say, "Oh, you know, I can't stand Nutter." I was like, but he made this possible. During his term, he made this possible. You know, so I think it's a much needed process.
Me too. I agree, man, because I think people are like, oh, you know, and I think they hit on the race card so much. So sometimes I don't even think it is like 100% race. I just think it's like, it's just business.
Yeah.
It's like, if this neighborhood is like this, I worked in Kensington. In Kensington, there was needles everywhere. They gentrifying in Kensington now. I worked in Frankfurt and Somerset. It was like zombies out there. People were urinating outside in the middle of the day. It was like, I used to tell Brandon all the time, like, I don't know what is going on around here. And then they just start coming and knocking buildings down and building new homes. People don't remember after Hurricane Katrina, Ray Nagin came up here to visit some of the refugees. Well, not refugees, some of the displaced.
That's a good word.
That's
a good word. Domestic refugees. That's a good word.
Yeah, I had to clean that up. Some of the displaced people from New Orleans. And he was like, oh, God damn. It's like, Philly was in the hurricane. They took him down the bottom of West Philly, North Philly. He was looking at, and he dissed Philly by saying how messed up it looked. Yeah. And everybody like took it as an insult. But think about it. He took them down the bottom. They were down the bottom, North Philly. It's like he was looking like, this is messed up. It may have been a little disingenuous to say it, but it was honest.
Yeah.
You know, Philadelphia had a lot of eyesores in so many places. And when I was at Temple, when people came from like San Francisco, Seattle, they were like, yo, I can't wait to get out of Philly. You know, cause everywhere you go, you got to go through the hood. You got to go through some bad neighborhood to get anywhere. If I go to the bank, I go to the bad neighborhood. If I go downtown, I go to a bad neighborhood. It's like in LA, it's like, I got to get on the highway to go to a bad neighborhood.
Right, you got to
Atlanta's the same way. I got to get on the highway, the freeway, and go somewhere.
Yeah,
over
you have
there.
To go to the hood.
And what really struck to me when I did some extra credit work for my history class at Temple, it was about the Underground Railroad. And I was talking to these guys that ran the program, and they said Germantown is such a historical area. They were coming from Buffalo, Ohio, and everything to clean up Germantown every 3 months because it's such a historical, you know, place in American history. Like the Underground Railroad was big in Germantown. And they said every time we go over there, there's so much trash on the ground, there's so much cigarettes and bottles everywhere. I'm like, I know, and I'm thinking like, how we don't recognize this?
Exactly.
This is historic stuff right here. We throwing trash on it. I don't care what racist stuff is going on in the cops. You cannot account for trash in your neighborhood.
Thank you.
You clean up the trash. That's not racism. You're throwing trash in front of your own property. Who you blame that on? You tagging signs. Who you blame it on? The cops? The government? That's you. I remember we cleaned up outside of Temple one time. This lady told us to stop. The students was doing extra credit. And she said, stop, so it's embarrassing that you guys don't even live around here. And y'all clean it up, and when y'all leave, these guys come at night and throw trash back on the ground. Don't clean up. We stopped doing it because the lady came outside. She yelled at us, don't do that, because they don't come messing up. Y'all not even finished, it's embarrassing. You guys are students. You don't live around here. Don't clean nothing up. Let them do it.
Wow.
Right. It was like,
yeah, I just hope on the other side of that argument, I just hope that it doesn't become a point where we're like
it's corporatized. Brandon's worried about the corporatization of all this, and I dig it. And the more we talk about it, the more thoughts pop in my head, the more complex it gets, because we are talking about people. You don't feel apathy, you just have apathy. It's the apathetic feeling, and I think a lot of that comes from a lack of education, a lack of knowledge, and the question I was having early on when we started the conversation was, do these people own their homes? I mean, like when you really think about it, do these people actually own it? Because I know anything that's mine, I'm going to treat better. I'm not going to let there be blight. I'm not going to let it fall apart. And there's different cases in every situation. But I know that people tear up their apartments. I work in an apartment complex, and you would be amazed at how these places look when they're done, new apartments. But I think if you own something, you have a sense of ownership. If you're in an actual community, you have a sense of community. Mm-hmm. I live in the hood, 16th in Erie, and it is disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting that when there's a stiff wind, the trash is coming down the subway.
Yeah.
But I think part of that is it's that apathy. I don't care where this can goes. I don't care, because none of this is mine. Mm-hmm. If they had a sense of, if they own things, again, they would have a sense of ownership, and they wouldn't let you made a great point about the blight, and like that's just pure negligence. And again, do these people own these properties that they're letting go down? I mean, stuff happens. You can't pay your taxes. You can't pay repairs, or it's inherited and somebody doesn't actually really want it. And so there's circumstances, but for somebody to actually live in a home and live in a community and own something and not care, I have a harder time with that.
I think to piggyback off of that, I think it's some of it's how you're raised, because even when I rented my apartments, I cleaned, and I know for a fact it's like the mindset of these people.
But you also, I'm sorry to cut you off, but you also felt like, this is my home.
Yeah, exactly.
This is where I lay my head. This is where my girl is. This is right. Yeah. This is I'm going to buy the nicest furniture I can buy. I'm going to decorate it. Like, this is mine. And when and the rent that you're paying, But again, and I can't punch this point enough. I really think when somebody doesn't have a sense of, this is mine, like people who lease their cars. What? Stop it! I got bananas in the back. I'm giving this back in 2 years. Oh man, look, I'm gonna run this thing down.
But you know what? I think the sense of community is lost in the black neighborhoods. Absolutely. Because you can go to Chestnut Hill and get that feeling of community. Mm-hmm. Like the white people that sit on the porch and they wave, hi, how you doing? If you drop something on the ground, they'll run off the porch and pick it up and say, hey, you dropped it, sir. Yep. Meanwhile, you walk through the hood, you drop something, people walk up behind you, pick it up and take it. I don't think people trust each other in the hood.
I'm glad you laughed in that way.
I think it's disgusting, because I see it every day. You got the teenagers. They have nothing to do, and the funny thing about it is there's a lot to do, but they don't want to leave their neighborhood.
Right.
If they leave their neighborhood, they're going to be the mob squad. They walk around Center City and punching people in the face.
Oh yeah, what do they call them?
Complex points bring up more complex questions, but that again goes back to parenting.
Yeah.
What